I should have listened to my gut on this one. My gut, which is starving because we still have not grown any food to eat. Why? Well, many reasons, but today's lesson is one of them. Behind me here is a huge pile of compost. It cost $450. I got 2 tons of this stuff. I got 2 tons because this whole area behind me was going to be filled with raised beds using just this compost. Now, if you know anything about gardening, you're thinking to yourself, well, that's dumb, Allison. Nobody plants directly into compost because it's too rich. Well, I thought I knew that, which is why when I called the dealer to get this truckload of compost, I said I would like half truckload of topsoil and half compost, because I was fully aware that compost is very rich and it'll kill your plants. But I was told that this compost is different. It's great. You can plant right directly into it. Everybody loves it. The owner of the business swears by it. She's still planning with the same compost delivery she got last year. It's awesome. I don't need topsoil. So I decided, all right, I guess I'll just listen to her and I'll get the compost. And I have no idea what's more expensive. I guess I probably should have looked into that. Like, was the compost more expensive? Like, is there any incentive to sell the compost? Anyway, I'm going to give everybody the benefit of the doubt here and just assume that, like, it was the truth, that they have had great success with this compost, but I have not had great success with this compost. This is one of the raised beds that is full of the compost. And this is what a lot of the starts I planted looked like when I put them in the compost. Unfortunately, as you can see here, this is what they look like now. They almost look like they have shrunk in size. See how small they are? They're tiny. This is a weed, okay? They're tiny, and they all turned yellow. See how small this thing is? So here, they're like missing parts. They turned all yellow and blotchy. See this leaf here? It's all like blotchy. And you can see how yellow this is. Another one right here, very yellow. So just a lot of yellow. Here, we've just already dug all those up. We dug a bunch up because they were just dead. So I actually sent off the soil sample to the University of Florida to get it tested, because I wanted to just see what was really going on. I mean, I could see with my own eyes that something was not right. My starts went in green and they were growing very quickly, and then all of a sudden they stopped growing. They almost looked like they shrunk, and they also just looked yellowy and not great. And I don't know anything about gardening, but that I knew was not a good sign. So I sent it off for soil sample, and sure enough, a bunch of stuff comes back way too high, like phosphorus, and you can see the list. I'll put it up on the screen. And that confirmed what I thought, which was, okay, this stuff is not something I can just grow directly into. So now what do I do? So it turns out the owners of the store are gone for a week for vacation. I'll do an update video about what happens when they get back. I'm hoping we can work out something that maybe more topsoil, and I don't know, maybe they want some of this compost back. Now I got a huge pile of compost that I really don't need. Do you need some compost? Would you like to come get some? Anyway, the lesson here, I guess I want to share, because a lot of this channel is about like learning the hard way, which maybe is the only way to learn, is first off, like every farmer I talk to and every video I watched from professional farmers has said the same thing, which is you can't plant directly into compost. And I didn't listen. I listened to the lady who sells the compost, and I went with her advice. Now, like I said, I'm not trying to say there was anything nefarious going on. I'm just saying I should have stuck with the advice of the professional farmers who don't do this. Secondly, I probably should have just asked them for tests. I should have asked for samples, or maybe even just gotten a little bit instead of a whole truckload. I should have just gotten a little bit and just seen. Now, the reason I got a whole truckload is because the delivery fee is $80. So here I am thinking like, well, you know, I get $50 of compost and $80 delivery fee. Like, that doesn't make any sense. So I figured, well, we have this whole area, we'll eventually use it if that's all we're using, right? I mean, we'll go through that real fast. Honestly, if that's all you're using, like, we would probably, just a few raised beds, we'd be able to go through that whole pile. But But I think what I'm learning here is the minutia really does matter. I am not a minutia person. I am a big picture kind of thinker. I don't know about you. I'm an idealist. I tend to be kind of naive, I guess, maybe, or just maybe overly optimistic about just going with the flow. I just am not somebody like, let me give you an example. My husband and I both love to backpack in the you know, the backcountry, like to go camping in the backcountry, not like car camping, like legit camping. You know, you put a pack on that weighs 40 pounds and you carry it into the wilderness 8 miles and you hope you packed right or else you die. Well, Lynn, he does so much planning on the front end that it takes forever to get out of the house and get in the car and get to the trailhead. But once we get to the trailhead, he walks out of the car, he puts the pack on his back, and he's off. Me, I am sitting waiting in the car, and I'm like ready to go, but the car is a mess. My pack is disorganized, I got stuff everywhere. Now I would leave a half an hour earlier than him, but then when I get to the base of the mountain, now I pack my bag. Do you see what I mean? Like, I don't know if that's like a deductive versus inductive thinker or whatever, but that's my personality. I'm like, just throw all the stuff together and make it work. And my husband is like, what is the, like, piss poor planning is something. It's a Marine Corps saying. But another saying he always uses is slow is steady, steady is fast or something. Oh, man, I can't think of it right now. Slow is smooth. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast. And that is just something that I need to do better at, because I do realize that is a value, especially for farming, because farming is a slow going process. And you realize when you put weeks into getting starts to grow and then they just die, it's not a cost thing, obviously. Well, the compost did cost a lot of money. So you know, going back and just getting another $400 truckload is not really an option. And that's, you know, that's not great, but it's a great way to do a video. So that's positive from all this. That said, like, a lot of farming, you know, for us at our scale is not a cost loss, but it is a time loss, because we got to start over on this raised bed. We had a bunch of good looking cucumbers and squash and melons, and we're starting over now. And that's okay, because we live in Florida, so we're probably not going to die. And also there's farmers markets and grocery stores and whatnot. That said, you know, we were excited to start harvesting things probably in like the next month or so, and I don't know if that's going to happen. Though I will say, like, the basil's starting to look okay. And some of the melons and squash in the other raised beds that are mixed more with native soil, I'll show you the difference that's made. I mean, they actually look okay. I'll show you my basil, because this here, right here, this has a lot of native soil in it compared to the other raised bed, and I think that has made a very big difference. One positive too from all this is that I sent our soil in along with the compost for analysis, and our soil came back pretty decent. It's very sandy, which, you know, looking at this, you're like, really? We're gonna grow with this? I mean, this just looks like I've gone to the beach, but like just like a dirty beach. But it actually came back okay for growing a vegetable garden. So I think what we're gonna be working on is, well, like this raised bed, we're gonna take the compost out, maybe dig up some native soil around our property and put it in there, mix it up with some topsoil, organic topsoil, and some of this compost, but just the compost is not going to be anywhere even close to half of the mixture anymore. What should you learn from this video if you want to learn anything? Don't garden like a bull in a china shop like I do. Take your time. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Details matter. Listen to the farmers, not the salesmen. And have fun. Go to fieldofgreens.com. Use OffGridish as your promo code. Get yourself some amazing organic superfood powder. If your garden is a mess like mine, or if you're going into winter, it's a great way to keep up with fruits and vegetables. It's physician formulated. They use the entire fruit and the entire vegetable, and there's a lot of great stuff in these powders. You can go choose from a variety of them. They flash freeze them, grind them up, and they're all targeting specific immune function and organ function. It actually tastes good, and it's just a great way to keep up with your nutrition. If you're like on the go, you just put a couple scoops in a glass of water, shake it up, drink it. Or like I said, if farmers markets are not open where you are right now, and it's a great way to support the channel. So go to fieldofgreens.com and use Off-Gridish for your 15% off of your first order, and I will see you guys next time.